Welcome to this CELA Educator Access webinar, bringing CELA to the classroom. Agenda: what is CELA and who does it serve? What is in our collection? What is Bookshare? How do educators get access? How to find, access, and read our materials. CELA provides free access to over 800,000 professionally produced titles and aims to provide people with print disabilities with a quality library experience. A national not-for-profit organization, CELA serves the estimated 3 million Canadians with print disabilities in partnership with member libraries and has users in every province and territory. As people working with students with print disabilities, you know how difficult it can be to find resources for your students with print disabilities. It's estimated that worldwide, only about 7 to 10% of all published material is available in alternative or accessible formats for people who have trouble reading regular print. It's our goal at CELA to do our part to help change that situation. We work to create materials through producing human narrated audio. We work with publishers to turn their source files into accessible formats that can be read using various technologies. We work with international partners like Bookshare and through consortiums which allow us to trade titles thanks to the Marrakesh Treaty. Who does CELA serve? Anyone with a print disability is eligible for our services. Print disabilities include learning or perceptual disabilities, including dyslexia, a physical disability such as cerebral palsy or MS, which prevents students from holding or manipulating a traditional print book, vision loss or blindness. In order to access CELA, individuals need a public library card in their name from a CELA member library. That's it. CELA does not require a proof of disability or medical certificate from individuals wanting to access our service, because our goal is to remove as many barriers to reading as we can. There is an eligibility section in the online CELA registration form which simply asks the person to identify their print disability, whether it's a learning, physical, or visual disability which prevents them from reading traditional print. Thanks to an exception in the Canadian Copyright Act and the cooperation and support of publishers and authors, we are able to produce and provide materials for people with print disabilities. The best way to assess whether a student is eligible for CELA service is to ask whether offering a different format would allow that student to read and comprehend the materials. The books are not meant for ESL students, for example, or those with developmental disabilities who would otherwise not be able to comprehend the content. As educators, we ask that you help us safeguard the copyright exception by only allowing students with print disabilities to use our materials and to help your students understand the value of copyright. So what does that mean CELA can do for students? A couple of years ago, we had the chance to talk to Antonia Del Monaco, a resource teacher with the Hamilton Wentworth Catholic District School Board. She was talking about her student, who we'll call Sarah, and this is what she told us. Sarah's educational team, including her parents and classroom teacher, came together at a meeting and decided that our main goal for the next 2 years was to help Sarah learn that reading was fun. It was as simple as that. We knew if she learned to love reading, the other skills would fall into place. The key to getting Sarah excited about reading was choice. I remember once I ordered books for her and I quickly realized my mistake when she was bored by them. Other kids have lots of choices in their reading material, and CELA gave Sarah that same type of selection. Choice made a huge difference in her reading, says resource teacher Antonia Delmonico. CELA does three main things for students with print disabilities. It first provides them with accessible reading materials, and most importantly, with choice in those materials. Secondly, it levels the playing field. Students can access books they want to read on their own devices or on the school's device and read them in ways that work for them. For students with learning disabilities, they can hear the book and read along with it, which helps them develop fluency. As educators, you can design and deliver programs knowing that your students with print disabilities can access the same sorts of materials that you are making available to all students. Thirdly, CELA supports literacy through accessible reading programs like the Ontario Library Association Forest of Reading, the TD Summer Reading Club, and Hackmatack, awards for prize-winning kids and YA titles from the Atlantic provinces. Students can have their own CELA account so they can access books for classroom and at-home use. What is in the CELA collection? CELA's collection runs the full gamut from children and teens through adults, award winners, classics, fiction, nonfiction, biographies, magazines, and newspapers, all in a variety of accessible formats. We pay special attention to Canadian stories and authors, and it's one of CELA's goals to develop a robust collection of Indigenous and First Nation stories. We also work with a number of literary awards and festivals to ensure their shortlists and winners are in the CELA collection. For example, Scotiabank Giller, Governor General's Awards, Canada Reads, Hackmatack, Fold Festival of Literary Diversity, the Indigenous Voices Awards, Provincial Awards, One City, One Book programs. What's not in our collection? Textbooks. Those are supplied by Arrow in Ontario or from other provincial or territorial bodies or directly from publishers. Books for kids and teens. For information on what's available for elementary and secondary students in the CELA collection, educators can search the Kids and Teens section of the CELA website. They will find books for all ages and interests, as well as information on programs that may be offered for kids at the local public library, such as the Forest of Reading titles. We post regular updates about new and recommended books to our collection on this page. Special focus on Canadian and Indigenous stories, new and popular titles, mix of fiction, nonfiction, biographies, some graphic novels, not many as they are difficult to produce well in electronic format. Magazines for children and teens. CELA gives access to 150 magazines in the collection, some of which are specifically for children and teens. The magazines are in DAISY text format that can be read through apps or on the computer. Depending on which device you read the magazine on, images are included. Accessible formats. With their CELA account, educators can download audiobooks or other formats, electronic braille, electronic text, from the online library. Audiobooks can be downloaded to various devices depending on the student's technological needs and preferences. CELA has books available for download in DAISY format. Braille books are available in contracted and uncontracted Braille, and those produced by CELA are done in Universal English Braille, UEB. The Braille collection includes tactile board books, print Braille picture books, and chapter books. CELA also purchases Braille from Braille Superstore, Seedlings, and other suppliers. Newspapers. The CELA website also contains a newspaper site with 50 local, regional, and national newspapers in e-text format. These may be useful for older students working on school projects that may require accessing information on current events. Through the CELA website, educators can place holds on physical items on behalf of students. DAISY books on CD, books in Braille or print Braille, to be delivered post-free to the school or educational institution. In order to set up delivery of physical items, educators should get in touch with our contact center, 1-855-655-2273, or help@celalibrary.ca once they have filled out the Educator Access registration form. Accessible reading programs. Two of the cornerstone literacy programs CELA supports are the TD Summer Reading Club. CELA provides large print or digital notebooks to public libraries so that children of all abilities can participate. CELA also provides a list of recommended titles as part of the Summer Reading Club, which are all in accessible formats. Forest of Reading. Every year, CELA commits to producing at least 5 of the nominated titles in accessible formats in each of the school age categories so that kids can participate in classroom and library programs. Our book lists are normally available in mid-October when Forest of Reading releases their book lists. Find them via our Kids and Teens page or Educators page. Educators in Ontario may request any Forest of Reading title and alternative format from AERO, the Alternate Education Resources Ontario. In other provinces and territories, alternative or accessible formats are normally made available through a provincial or territorial body. CELA's collection is not a curriculum-based collection, no textbook material, but it's possible to find many popular authors and titles for kids and teens that may also be studied in the classroom. Canada Reads. We work with Canada Reads to produce the shortlisted titles in accessible formats in advance of the list announcement so that they are available to readers as soon as the lists are announced. Post-secondary students. Again, CELA's collection does not include textbook material, but educators and post-secondary students may find many titles that will be useful in their course of study. For example, literary studies in both English and French, Canadian literature, world literature, Indigenous and First Nations material. CELA resources can be an auxiliary source of reading material for post-secondary students to complement resources available from the university or college library or resource center. What is Bookshare? Bookshare is a US-based online library of text, audio in synthetic speech, and electronic braille. It's available for people with print disabilities, the same as CELA. With the partnership between CELA and Bookshare, access is free and now available directly from CELA's website. Since March 2019, when CELA launched our new website and library system, individuals and educators can access Bookshare titles directly at celalibrary.ca free of charge. Previously, it was necessary to log in to Bookshare's website. This is no longer the case. Individuals with a print disability and teachers or educators on behalf of students with print disabilities can now access Bookshare titles via celalibrary.ca. Resource specialists or educators, once they have registered with CELA's Educator Access program, will need to complete the CELA Educator Access Terms of Use form on the educator's page and return it to members@celalibrary.ca in order to access Bookshare titles at celalibrary.ca. Students are eligible to access Bookshare titles at celalibrary.ca when they sign up with CELA. However, they are required to submit a proof of disability form available on the CELA website, which can be signed by a special education teacher, learning disability, dyslexia, or resource specialist, school psychologist, family doctor. This is because Bookshare is a separate organization from CELA and operates under U.S. copyright law. The form can either be uploaded when the student is completing the CELA self-registration form or emailed to members@celalibrary.ca after the CELA registration form is completed. Bookshare formats and devices. Bookshare allows the teacher or the student to download books in a variety of formats. It also allows for students to listen to and read print text at the same time, which is of benefit to many students with various learning disabilities, such as dyslexia. Since educators or resource specialists now access Bookshare resources through CELA's website for free, we are working to introduce some facets of the Bookshare interface that are not currently available through CELA. For example, the ability to create reading lists for students. Books can be downloaded to a computer or mobile device using the Dolphin EasyReader or other accessible apps. Some of the apps that can be used to read Bookshare books: Capty, VoiceStream, iBooks, Dolphin EasyReader. Since Bookshare offers books in EPUB format, it is easy to use iBooks to read the books. Signing up for Educator Access. Get a library card from a CELA member library. Ask your public library if they offer institutional or educator borrower cards. Complete the online Educator Access Program registration form. Please note that your school's address must be in an area served by a CELA member library. Add access to Bookshare titles for yourself as an educator by completing the CELA Educator Access Terms of Use form. Sign up for Open Book for Educators, CELA's newsletter, to keep you informed about new books and technology for your students with print disabilities. If you are interested in participating in CELA's Educator Advisory Group, we would love having your input. The purpose of the Educator Advisory Group is to provide CELA staff and CELA board members with information and insight from users and potential users of our services. The group will be provided with the opportunity to aid in strengthening CELA services and to inform the strategic and technological direction of the organization. You can sign up for the Educator Access Advisory Group by going to the online form on the home page of CELA's website or on the Educators page. Once the educator has completed the online registration form at educators.celalibrary.ca, CELA Contact Center staff will create a record for the educator in the CELA database within 5 business days. The educator will receive a welcome message with their CELA account number and password, which will give them access to CELA's online library of accessible formats. Using CELA materials. Once you have your CELA login, the process of finding and getting CELA materials is relatively straightforward. Once you click Get It, digital versions of books will be available within a short time in My Account. Audio CDs and physical Braille will take a few days to produce and mail out, so allow for lead time if needed. Finding books in the CELA collection. Direct search, simply search for the title or author and use filters to find books by format, category, or recently added or recently published titles. Browse by category, option found at the end of the search bar, can help find dramas, short stories, nonfiction, etc. Browse new titles. Under our featured titles on our main page and updated regularly. Recommended reading page, find in our navigation bar. Awards page, celalibrary.ca/awards. Kids and Teens page for recommended books, new titles, featured titles. For information on materials in other languages, go to the Languages page on the CELA website. What digital format should I choose? Go to the Accessible Formats page under the Help tab at celalibrary.ca in order to see a full description of accessible formats available from CELA and Bookshare. Using EasyReader. Dolphin EasyReader is available in Apple and Google Play stores. There is a desktop version which is for sale, but it is not required to use the app. Download, set up an EasyReader account. Log in to CELA Library through EasyReader to access CELA books. Choose Daisy Text Direct to Player options. There are excellent videos on Dolphin's website to help. CELA also has a quick guide to using Dolphin EasyReader on the CELA website. EasyReader by Dolphin is a free, accessible reading app for iOS and Android mobile and tablet users. It allows for synchronized text and speech, works well with CELA and Bookshare titles, is intuitive and easy to use at school, on school or student-owned technology. Reading speed, font, spacing, and colors are all easily adjustable. Promoting educator access. In order to promote the Educator Access program in communities, CELA encourages public libraries to connect with local schools and/or post-secondary institutions and let them know the library offers the program, especially tailored for educators working with students with print disabilities. These Educator Access flyers are also available to educators and resource specialists wanting to promote the service at their schools or institutions. CELA will provide resources, including free promotional materials, letter templates, and training to support the library's promotion efforts. CELA also promotes educator access at the provincial and national levels to support library efforts. If you have questions about educator access, please contact CELA Member Services anytime, either by email or at our toll-free number. This is the end of the Educator Access webinar.